let's make some picks. And then we'll talk about the World Series.
Let's do it.
Last week, I went 18-8. Jackson went 17-9.
Damn.
So I gained one more game. I sit at
4?
3.
3. Okay.
I sit at 141-47. Jackson sits at 138-50. So,
Again, I've said it before, but I'm proud of our picks.
No,
man.
we've
done well.
I think we've been doing a really good job. All right, so this episode was supposed to be recorded Wednesday. It's being recorded Friday the 27th because we had to push some stuff back because of schedules. So I'm going to be uploading 3 videos on my personal channel. It'll be the Michigan discussion we just had, the picks, and then the World Series discussion. I'm going to just split it. Basically, my main channel has just become a Bloomington Buddies Clips channel.
By the way, I'm ready to receive all the hate in the comments. So, I mean, if you want to give me hate in the comments, go ahead. I mean, I've seen so many comments about Michigan in the past week, so it's just like, all right, whatever.
Jackson's tough. He can handle it. He's a big boy.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, let's start with the picks. First game, and what I want to do is quickly go over the games that have no playoff contenders and really kind of talk about playoff contenders because I've seen some crazy playoff scenarios that could happen, and I don't know who's getting in. This year, like last year, everyone's like, all right, it'll either be Michigan or Ohio State. Probably TCU, definitely Georgia, and then maybe one other team. Everyone knew what it was going to be last year. This year you have Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, Washington, Oregon, Utah. A
lot of one-loss teams that can still make it.
Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma. All these teams have a legitimate shot to make it.
It's cool. It's cool to see how many teams could possibly make it this year.
All right, first game, Florida State at Wake Forest. I think Florida State wins and keeps their playoff hopes alive. They're the only undefeated team in the ACC left. Because USC had USC had a stinker of a game against Virginia. They completely blew. I guess UNC technically has a chance. They have to win out, but that was an ugly loss. They do that every year. We'll talk about UNC later. But I
was going to say, we should probably bring that up at some point.
All right, Oklahoma at Kansas.
Oklahoma.
I think this could be a tough game because Kansas isn't
they're not bad, because they were ranked at one point.
This isn't your old run of the mill Kansas team, and they get it at home.
Yeah, they're a 2-loss team, lost to Texas and lost to Oklahoma State last week though. So
I will take Oklahoma, but Oklahoma, they got to win out. They got to beat Texas again, which might not sound fair to an Oklahoma fan or whatever. They got to beat Texas again. They have to beat Texas again. Indiana, oh boy.
I want us to make Penn State our bitch.
Okay,
if we can win on the road, this would be officially be the stupidest season in IU football history. Even though we have more wins than last year, it would still be the stupidest season in IU football history.
We started last year 3-0.
Did we?
Yeah, we beat Illinois. I think I think it was Idaho or
I thought we only had 2 wins.
It was Idaho State or something, and then I think we had 4. We won our first 3 games.
That's right. Yeah,
we won our first 3 games, and then beat Michigan State.
But yeah, no, give me Penn State for this.
Penn State still has a chance. They still have a game against Michigan.
$10 says that they're so angry about the Ohio State game last week that they decided to make this game a whiteout game.
This guy.
Just for the revenge factor. He's like, we're coming back.
The Penn State whiteout game. All right, South Carolina.
I hate the whiteout game.
South Carolina at Tech. Well, it's because they play Michigan at noon. Michigan can't get the whiteout game.
If you think I'm upset about us not getting the whiteout game, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm saying that's an advantage for Michigan. They don't have to do. All right. Texas,
go ahead.
Texas A&M hosts South Carolina.
I know Texas A&M.
South Carolina's been very disappointing.
South Carolina's bad this year. Wow, they are bad.
What's their record?
They've got 2 wins.
Oh boy.
Yeah, give me.
Even
A&M.
IU has 2 wins.
Give me A&M at home.
All right, Houston at Kansas State. Kansas State won big against TCU, 41-3.
Houston, yeah, not great, not great. Give me.
I'm taking Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kansas State.
All right, West Virginia at UCF. This is kind of a coin flip game.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to go different on this one?
If we're going different, I need a spread first.
I might take
UCF's favored by 7, but they're
Really?
also 0-4.
I was gonna say I might have to take West Virginia for this one, and we don't have to differentiate on this one. I'll let you make your own
You
decision.
know what? If you're giving me a 7-point favorite to be different, I'll take the 7-point favorite. I'll take UCF.
All right. You know what? I want to keep wearing the hat actually.
All right, Clemson. Who, by the way, Clemson is officially not an elite program anymore, and you know why? They lost to Miami. You can't lose to Miami if you want to be an elite program. Notre Dame found that out when they got crushed like 40-8 in that one game, which was the funniest game of all time. You can't be losing to Miami.
28-20.
You cannot lose to Miami if you want to be considered an elite program. I'm sorry. I'm taking NC State at home.
I might take Clemson. Yeah, I'm gonna take Clemson.
All right. BYU, who has looked good. BYU's looked very solid. At Texas.
Give me Texas. Give me Texas. Please.
I agree. Texas is a team that's just kind of hanging out there in the ranks with their one loss and an easy schedule coming up. I thought at TCU would be a tough game for them, but probably not anymore with the way TCU's looked. Pitt at Notre Dame. I'm going to take
Notre Dame. Yeah.
Okay. Duke and Louisville. These are 2 one-loss teams. Or wait, has Duke lost another game?
I think Duke lost twice.
I will fact check.
Yeah,
this.
they just lost to Florida State.
Oh yeah, that's right. So Louisville still has the one loss to a bad Pitt by 17 to a bad Pitt team, but they still have ACC championship game appearance hopes. I think Louisville beats Duke at home.
Damn. You know what? Let's make this game a little more interesting. I'll take Duke.
Yeah,
I'll take Duke. Because, I mean, the 2
needs
teams that
this
they've
one.
lost to have been really good teams. So,
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that
Louisville's
Louisville lost to the... Yeah.
Louisville did put a thumping on Notre Dame, and Duke lost it.
Yeah, I'll take Duke for this one.
I'll take this
because I
game
think
as it
it could be a good game. It could be a good game.
right.
I think it'll be good.
Your 2 favorite complainers. Your 2 favorite complainers.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota and Michigan State.
Minnesota hasn't been complaining.
I thought you were talking about PJ Fleck or Minnesota's coach.
No. Well, I was talking about him, but he was the one that was just like, yeah, I don't think this is a very big deal. And Minnesota's a good.
Minnesota's 7-point favorite at home.
Yeah, give me Minnesota. Michigan State's really bad.
Dude, they're awful.
They're really bad.
They're really bad. The weekly teams we've been like saying are bad have turned from like Virginia Tech, Baylor, to Michigan State's bad.
I feel bad for them.
Like Baylor and Virginia Tech have turned their seasons around. Virginia Tech won 30-3 last night.
This is gonna sound weird, but I do feel bad for Michigan State because it's not the players' faults or anything. You know, like they're still assholes. Like they're not gonna play well, but like they're still assholes for the way that they played. Michigan, like you said, a lot of late hits and stuff like that. But like just the whole coaching situation for them is like obviously something that's way out of their control, so it's just like such a weird situation going on there. So
all right. Speaking of Baylor hosts Iowa State in kind of a coin flip game.
Baylor 3 wins, Iowa State not very many wins.
Iowa State's 4-3, Baylor's 3-4. Baylor, I will say, Baylor has kind of turned it around. They got thrashed by Texas Tech. I'll go Baylor at home.
I'll do Iowa State.
All right, that is the first.
I got family that went to Iowa State, so we'll go with them. Yep.
Okay. All right, so that's the first half of the regular games. We got the second half, then the 2 main games. 2 smart schools. One's good at football, one's not. Tulane and Rice. A ranked Tulane.
Yeah,
I think
Tulane's.
The race for that so every year the group of 5 gets a bid in the New Year's Six Bowls. The race for that bid is a tight race. James Madison ranked and undefeated. Air Force ranked and undefeated. Tulane ranked with 1 loss to Ole Miss. It's a tight race for that spot. If Air Force and James Madison both finish undefeated, which I think they might, could see 2 teams getting those spots.
Yeah.
I think that's just a roundabout way of me saying Tulane will win. I do have Air Force.
I'm going to say Tulane for this one as well. Yeah, that's going to be a fun race to watch, though.
All right. The whole point of the Contenders Pretenders segment like a week ago was just for me to shit on USC.
Okay, so let me ask you now in hindsight. I hate to go back to this. I'm sorry. Michigan, contenders or pretenders?
I mean, they're 7-0 and ranked second in the country. I gotta say contender.
Still, even after everything. You're still going... You know what? Mad respect. Mad respect, sir.
I think it... I hate that I just dabbed you after that. But, like, yeah, they're still a good team. Like, you can't watch...
You can't deny that Michigan is still one of the best teams in the country. You cannot deny that.
But what I can say is that teams are hunting them right now.
Yeah, they're hunting them, but it's going to be really hard still.
I cannot wait. Oh, wait, hold on. Are we going to have an episode, like, before the Michigan-Ohio State game?
It'll be the weekend after Thanksgiving, so we'll have to record that episode before we leave for Thanksgiving break.
Okay.
Like for predictions and stuff like that. We'll have to record that episode the week before we leave for Thanksgiving.
We'll figure it out.
We'll have to do 2 weeks worth of picks.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. All right. Yeah, because I'm planning on going to the IU Purdue game just because that's the only game that matters for IU at this point is just beating Purdue.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll watch because the fact that game's always a noon game is annoying. It should
the IU Purdue one?
No, the Michigan Ohio.
Michigan.
Like, why is that always a noon game? That's
well, for the longest time, I think it was because of Michigan Stadium, so like we couldn't really do night games or anything. But now we got lights, so
back to contenders or pretenders. USC has emphatically laid an egg with back-to-back losses to Notre Dame and Utah. Utah coming at home, like I said, they would lose. They're just okay. They'll beat Cal, like. That's what they play.
Yeah, that was the ones that I lost at, actually. I forgot about that. Yep.
But USC is just not very good. Caleb Williams is just not very good.
Yeah.
Sorry to say it.
USC for that game. I still think Caleb Williams is really good, but he's definitely out of the Heisman contender for this year. He's definitely out of it.
No, he's not winning.
Because, I mean, you can't really say that Caleb Williams is a bad player because that entire team is just him. Like, so much of that
they don't have a defense.
That team's success is Caleb Williams. Yeah. Like, he's the only reason why they were ranked so high.
Lincoln Riley doesn't know what a defense is. He's like, there's another side of the ball? This has been a thing for years now.
It's kind of crazy seeing how low ticket sales are now for that game. USC used to be one of the best teams in the country, had a Heisman contender on that team, and now tickets are only $30
for their game at Cal.
For their game at Cal.
Yeah, home against. Yeah, they do play Washington at home next week. Speaking of Washington, they're the next team on the list. I was incredibly disappointed. This needs to be said. We are all over Ohio State when they struggle. We're all over Michigan when they struggle. We're all over Penn State, Georgia when they struggle. That was a bad game from Washington this past week. I know they won 15-7 over 1-6.
To the point,
Arizona should be winless. Arizona State.
To the point now where J.J. McCarthy is officially the front runner for the Heisman.
Oh my! Get out of here with that.
I'm gonna keep bringing up everything. This is a Michigan episode, all right?
I did see that J.J. McCarthy. I don't think J.J. McCarthy will.
I don't know if he will. I mean, which sucks because I mean it's up. He wasn't even in the conversation until this week.
Yeah,
and that was it. You know,
Washington's only touchdown was an 89-yard pick six. They don't get that. Arizona State kicks a field goal. They win. I will give them that it is a hangover game from the Oregon. I'll give them that. That's still unacceptable. And if they play like that again, they will lose.
Just imagine that, though. Stanford being the team that absolutely snapped Colorado's season and Washington season if they won that game.
I think Washington
that would be
wins.
Insane.
I think Washington wins, but that was concerning. Like,
if that happens, I guarantee the NCAA is just like, all right, I know you've lost the rest of your games, but we'll give you the 25 spot for being able to do that for the rest of the season. We'll put you in number
Stanford.
25. I know you have 6 losses the rest of the year, but the fact that you're able to beat Washington and Colorado, it's like, all right, you can stay there.
You
won't move any higher.
You
but.
could put any. I think you could put any team at 25, and everybody like, all right,
Exactly.
you could put any team ranked 25.
Well, that's my point. It's just like
You could even put by the way, Ball State won on Saturday. The 1-6 Ball State Cardinals took down Central Michigan. Chirp chirp, baby.
chirp chirp.
That was a fun game. Like I know they're 1-6 and they beat Central Michigan.
They gave the Dogs a half a quarter.
They gave him a whole quarter. It was,
Yeah, that's fair.
Muncie knows how to party. I'll say that. That is a true tailgate town right there. I think Muncie and Bloomington are kind of equals when it comes to tailgating. Bloomington probably a little bit better.
I was gonna say nobody at Bloomington likes to hear that, I'm sure.
But that's two teams that are awful. And no one cares about the game. They just care about the tailgate. I'm pulling up I don't know if Jackson saw this, but we were running Oklahoma drills in the tailgate field.
I did see that video. I saw it on your story.
Me, 5'10", which people like to push back on. I say that I'm 5'10", which people push back on. 5'10", 170 against my buddy who is 6'5", 240. Where's?
Oh God, this is a great video.
He lifts me off the ground.
God, did it hurt?
A little bit.
God, he body slammed.
I tried to lay a shoulder and then my foot slipped and he got both hands on me. I'm like, oh shit. And I feel myself going up. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no.
This is gonna be bad. All right.
Please be gentle.
Next game. Air Force at Colorado State.
Man.
I think people got the wrong impression that Colorado State's a good team from that one game.
Yeah, against Colorado, it's no.
Air Force,
give me Air Force for that one.
They run the option to a T.
They're still undefeated. I didn't even realize.
They run the option. They take up all of your clock time, and then when you do get the ball, they shut you down on defense.
They put up a lot of points this year.
Yeah, because they run the option so well, people don't know how to guard it.
Their only two bad quote-unquote games have been Sam Houston and Navy. And Navy's obviously for good reason because it's the bigger rivalry game.
Somebody at the Sam Houston State game got kicked out for wearing an inflatable penis, which is just what you get at Sam Houston State.
All right, then.
That was, I thought, noteworthy to mention. All right, Tennessee at Kentucky.
Tennessee, I know
they
is good.
Had that. I know this feels like a while ago. They had that game against Bama, dude. They had that game.
That was tough.
They had that game. By the way, Tennessee was listed on the teams that Michigan apparently scouted. But no, they had that.
Now you're returning the favor. You're returning jabs at Michigan. Now it's just just to mention real quick.
But no, they had that game. They were up 20-7 at half, and they completely blew it. They gave up 28 unanswered. In the second half, they completely threw that game away. They had it, man. They had it.
I feel bad, man.
I'm gonna take them just because I have
to. I'll take Tennessee.
Because I don't think Kentucky's that great, but oh man, that was so disappointing. One of my buddies who goes to Tennessee actually drove down to Bama for that game, and oh my God. All right, Ohio State at Wisconsin. I'll let you pick first, in case you want to get interesting with this pick.
I mean, not really. I mean, Wisconsin, 2 losses so far to Iowa, 15-6.
Oh, we haven't talked about the Iowa-Minnesota scandal. Okay, after this game, we'll do that.
And then lost to Washington State 31-22. That was when Washington State was still really good. Yeah, I got to go with Ohio State for this one.
All right. I'm going to go with Ohio State. Here's the thing. People are crapping on them for I'm not going to call them beating Penn State a struggle win. I'm not going to call it that because that's a top 10 team that they beat at home.
Can you answer me this question? Who have you heard crapping on Ohio State? All I've heard is that Ohio State won a gritty win over Penn State.
I've heard both these teams are bad. Michigan's going to roll both of them. That's what I've been. Yeah, you would.
Obviously, I'm biased, though. I mean,
here's what I will say against Ohio State. Their offense is not great. They have Marvin Harrison. McCord is nah. But, their offense has not really shown up yet this year. That is an elite defense. That is an elite Ohio State defense. That is a team that held Notre Dame to 14 points. That's a team that held Penn State to 12 points. That defense is up there with Georgia this year. That is a top 5, top 3 defense in college football. And I think that's something people need to talk about. Yeah, their offense might not be great. That defense has the potential to completely pick up the slack. That's a great defense.
It's really good. It's really good. And it's the thing that I'm worried about when it comes to the Ohio State-Michigan game. Yeah, that's really not much else I can say.
Here's what I'll say.
They're really good.
For like the 8th time, we'll talk about Ohio State-Michigan. The past years, Michigan won like 40-30 last year, and they beat them real badly.
I'll gladly look it up for you.
Yeah, look up your exact scores. This game will not get into the 40s. This Ohio State-Michigan game will be won 21-17.
It was 45-23 last year. And the year before that, let's look it up. It was 42-27.
I would hope so when you know what plays the other team's running.
Fucking hard.
But I think the game this year will be won 21-17, 24-20, 17-10. It will be a low-scoring affair, I feel like.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because we thought that in years past, but both teams still scored a lot of points. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, when it comes to the actual rivalry game itself, I feel like at least in the past 2 years, the offense has exploded on these rivalry games. So it'd be cool to see a low scoring game, like if it ended,
3-0.
No offense.
By the way, I saw this. I keep bringing up random points. Shout out to Nevada. They were the only winless team in FBS. They were the only winless team. They beat San Diego State 6-0. Congratulations to Nevada on your first win of the year. All right. I'm also taking Ohio State, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, the Iowa-Minnesota game, by the way, Iowa, I don't know how you guys don't have an offense. It's been years now. But that punt return that guy had.
That was some bull.
When they said he called a fair.
Bull.
They said he called a fair catch. Iowa was down 3. And their punt returner went like this, so no one in front of him touches the ball. But he didn't wave like this for a fair catch. But he picked it up, took it to the house, and they said he called for a fair catch.
And the thing is that no referee ever threw a flag down for
or whistled it dead.
Exactly,
that
or whistled it dead or anything.
Stupid.
They just called it back after the fact because they were like, "No, I think he did. I think he called it a fair catch."
Let's make him earn it on this drive. That was stupid.
That was bad.
To be fair, though, you got to be scoring more than 10 points against Minnesota.
Real quick, to go to NFL, similar topic. The Colts lost to the Browns this weekend.
Holy cow, that was worse.
Those 2 calls were the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Jackson's a big Colts fan, for those that don't know.
Worst things I've ever seen.
Literally
cost us the game, and you can't argue around
There was
that.
a pass that was damn near in the stands.
It was in the stands. It bounced into the stands. The guy caught it.
And they called PI, which you can't call PI if it's an uncatchable pass. They're like, Paul Bunyan doesn't haul that pass in, bro. That was bad.
The call before that was even worse. They called it illegal contact.
When he got hit as he threw?
Yeah. It was a fumble. And we got the ball, and they called it illegal contact, and he gave him the ball back. Which, my one question is okay, if it's an illegal contact, does that offset the fact that the guy fumbled the ball?
No, because it happened before he fumbled. They said he grabbed the receiver.
Oh, my God.
That was bad.
Ridiculous. Jim Irsay ended up tweeting later. He's like, yeah, the NFL literally just admitted to me that they were wrong about that call, about both those calls.
People, I know Colts fans don't like him. I love Jim Irsay, bro. He's so funny.
He's funny, but I also hate him at the same time. It's literally the definition of a love-hate relationship.
He's funny,
because he's
but
such a bad owner.
This guy ran.
He's so funny.
This guy ran Peyton Manning out of town.
Oh my God, yeah. He's the worst owner in the NFL. And
he's not. McCaskey's worse.
I think he's officially...
the Bears' ownership's way worse.
I think he's officially the oldest owner in the NFL now, too.
Virginia McCaskey's 101.
What?
She's so old. She's ruining the Bears. Oh, my God. She needs to either give the team to someone else or die. I'm sorry.
Okay, then.
No,
All right.
she's great. She's lovely. But she doesn't know how to run a football team. I hope she sells the team. She won't. She'll never do it. She'll never do it. I don't know. But she's the worst owner, by the way, for those that are wondering.
Nah.
The Colts have a Super Bowl. Like
So do the Bears.
not when she was owner. Jim Irsay has built a Super Bowl team. And
Anyway.
they beat the Bears, by the way, in that Super Bowl. For those that are curious.
Anyway.
All right, Vanderbilt at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Okay. Oh shoot, I just screwed that up. All right, Colorado at UCLA. Haven't heard much of Colorado, like I said we would.
This was originally supposed to be a top 10 matchup for Colorado now. But now UCLA is just they've kind of fallen off. They've kind of fallen off a little bit. I'm still gonna go with UCLA, but
Yeah, I'm not. This team lost to Stanford. I can't pick them. I'm sorry. North Carolina at Georgia Tech. Every year North Carolina is ranked, at least in recent times, they've been ranked highly, and then they just lose to a team they should easily beat. Like at home, too.
It's so weird.
That game against Virginia was unexcusable.
That was bad. That was bad. I'm still going North Carolina, though.
I think they'll win, but like not going to be ranked real highly anymore. Old Dominion at James Madison. This has been a very good James Madison team.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this game. Here. I mean, God, James Madison is still undefeated too. Damn. Yeah, give me James Madison for this one.
Yeah, I agree. They're a really good team, man. Honestly, I'd love to see a game between them and Air Force. That'd be a really good game. Cincinnati at Oklahoma State. I'm taking Oklahoma State because they pretty much every game that I pick them, they've gotten me some points against Jackson. Like every week Jackson has picked against Oklahoma State when I pick them, and they've like just been continuing to win. So,
and for some reason, I've picked Cincy more than I should. Yeah, give me Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Honestly, Oklahoma State might be the reason I have a 3-game lead. I'm not even kidding. How
many games have we differed on so far? Only 2 or something?
For this, yeah, not many.
Oh, shit. Okay. Now I'm going to feel the pressure to
Here's
pick
one that
different.
could be interesting. Oregon State at Arizona. Arizona, this is not... Normally, Arizona's horrible.
I mean, they've got 3 losses, but I will say...
They have a win. Their only 2 losses are USC and Washington in close games. And
No. They lost to Mississippi State.
I was about to say, I had to look up. But they just beat They're coming off a bye week, and they just beat Washington State 44-6, which, by the way, that might be the most surprised I've ever been about a score. Ever. When they beat Washington State 44-6. I was like, how did they beat them 44-6?
No clue.
I'm still taking Oregon State, though, but... If you want to take the upset.
No, I'm going to take Oregon State.
I'm going to see if I could get a spread. I'm going to see if I can get a spread. This game starts at 10:30 Eastern Time. Oregon State's favored by 3. All right. Time for the 2 featured games.
Yep.
Florida and Georgia. Always always in Jacksonville.
Yep.
The game. Georgia is not invincible like they were last year.
No.
Last year, they were one of the best college football teams I think I've ever seen.
Florida is okay. They lost one to Kentucky, which was like, okay.
You never know what Florida team you're going to get on any given week. You never know. You could get the team that embarrassed Tennessee. Or you'll get the team that got embarrassed by Utah and got embarrassed by Kentucky. It's a roll of the dice with Florida. And they're going to need their best game to compete in this.
And they're at home.
No, it's a neutral site. They always play in Jacksonville.
Or no, yeah, geez, that's right. Yep, that's right.
It's like how it's like how Oklahoma and Texas always play.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to take Georgia because they're the number 1 team, but at the same time, yeah, like you said, I mean, it's a rivalry game, so it's like you never really know what you're gonna get.
The safe pick is Georgia. I'm picking Georgia because
it's gonna be a boring week probably for the picks, but I'm probably gonna have to take Georgia too. Yeah. Because I don't want to just give you points just to be different, though. I've done that too many times now at this point.
I've done it my share of times.
I've done it too. So like that's why I lost my lead.
I was so glad when he picked Central Michigan over Ball State.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Georgia as well.
Okay.
I gotta start playing it. I gotta start playing conservatively at this point if I want to win. So.
Last game. And these are two teams that, if they want to make a conference title, and if they want to make a college football playoff, they need this game. They need this game. Both these teams have one loss. That is Utah and Oregon.
So Utah's lost to Oregon State.
Utah lost to Oregon State. Oregon lost to Washington.
Washington, yeah.
It's
a Washington team that had a lot of flaws exposed this past week. So
yeah, Utah gets the game at home, and by the way, Utah's student section is called the MUS, the Mighty Utah Student Section. The MUS will show out for this game. The MUS will show out. I just have a hard time. I picked Utah to win the Pac-12 in the preseason. That was the one conference everyone was picking a different team pretty much. I picked Utah to win it because I was like, well, they've done it the last 2 years. They have most of their guys back, and they're the most experienced team. That's why I picked Utah to win the Pac-12. Well, the jury's out to see if they actually win it. But basically, the race is between Oregon State, Washington, Oregon, and Utah. And one of those teams is about to be eliminated here. I like Utah at home. I just have a hard time picking against them at home. Oregon's good, but I just think Utah gets it because they're at home.
God damn you.
You wanted Utah.
I wanted to take Utah. I'm shocked because ESPN has Oregon winning 68-31.
That don't mean
like it doesn't mean anything. But like
the FPI predictor doesn't mean anything, like ever.
I'll be different for this one. I'll take Oregon. I think they can take it on the road.
Riding with Bo Nix.
Yeah, they're a gritty team.
They're a gritty team. Oh my god. Okay. Now, by the way, last thing. IU's QB Brandon Sorsby. Tom Allen was like, he's a real gritty player.
Yeah.
And I said that to Jackson. I'm like, oh my god, just say he's bad.
And just
say he's bad.
What did I say?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you sent me that post. What did I say back? I was like, that proves he shouldn't have a job anymore when his team is 2 wins, and he's like, yeah, he's a real gritty quarterback. He's gotten us 2 wins. He's something special.
All right.